What's up, YouTube? My name is Jose, aka Joe Engineer, and this is not a DIY video, but rather I thought I would give you guys a quick tour of my garage as it currently stands and what I plan on doing in it or with it in the near future. And then I will request your help from any subscribers or viewers and any constructive feedback you all may have on additions that I should make to my little workspace. So, as you've already seen before in prior videos, this is my two-car garage. It's quite small. It is basically 19 by 19 square internal dimensions. And you all have seen, this is the far side wall with the cabinets that, you know, are usually my backdrop for my intros and conclusions in the videos, next to the man door. And I have rearranged everything here temporarily because I am having someone come in and do electrical work finally after years of being limited by the capability of this garage. I'm going to be able to upgrade to something you know, to higher current, higher voltage, a bunch of 220 outlets so that I can run some bigger equipment. So right now everything is just pushed to this half of the garage, which is for the most part kind of a shop space. And this side is obviously needs to be a parking space for the Porsche and you know, have workspace around it so that I can put it up on jack stands and do whatever I need to do to it. But this house only has a 15 amp breaker to the garage, and it has very few outlets. It only came with these outlets here, a couple more that are right there, but they're all off the same circuit, and another pair of outlets up there for the garage door opener. And then I've got a bunch of shop lights daisy chained. But as you've seen before, the shop side of the garage is pretty brightly lit, but it's total darkness over here. And that's how it's been reflected in my YouTube videos. It's always really dark over here, and I have to set up shop lights to kind of show what's going on over here. But what and kind of going back to the breaker situation, I have a single 15 amp breaker. So whenever I would turn on my compressor and I had my lights going and my stereo, then, you know, everything would go dark. It would trip the breaker. So I'm thankfully now that I'm in a position where I'm able to do some slight upgrades in here. Now that the car is running and I'm just working on kind of fine details here and there, like interior and some of the other small stuff I've been doing lately. Now I'm in a position where thankfully I can upgrade my electrical in here. So what I plan on doing is that my house is over here, and that's my panel. And currently there is conduit with the power wire coming this way into here. So the plan is to install a subpanel either right there or over here. And along this wall, this is a far wall on the opposite side from the roll-up garage door. Along this wall, I would like to put a few 220 outlets so that we can run possibly a lathe, a milling machine, and definitely a a welder that can do substantial work. Hopefully, eventually I'd like to learn TIG from, to be able to do some pretty, some cool stuff in here. So I think in the long term, I will have machines parked along this wall. And once that happens, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with those cabinets and this toolbox that were over here against this wall. I'm going to have to get creative with my my setup here. But I moved everything out of the way so that we can put 220s in here, and maybe a couple 110s just for plugging in stuff. And along this wall, down between the in this little corridor between the Porsche and the roll-up door, a few 110s also, so that we can plug in lights or power tools or whatnot for convenience. Then once that's all done, oh, and actually, if possible, we're going to see if we can tie in maybe at least another overhead 110, either over there or somewhere, so that I can plug in more of these type of LED shop lights over here on this side and provide some overhead illumination. That would be fantastic. So once we get all that done, then we'll go ahead and insulate and do drywall. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to that soon enough. I may just do the electrical for now, just to have capability, just to increase my capability and bring in some bigger equipment right now, and then later on do this process again, kind of move everything out of the way so that we can then do drywall and painting and insulating and all that fun stuff. In the long term, I would like to insulate that door, because in the summertime, if you come in the morning when the sun is hitting that door and you touch the backside of the door, it is hot. It is hot, hot, hot. It feels like a heater or like an oven or something. And this wall is also going to get sunlight most of the day too, so I would need to insulate and drywall that side too. Plus, when we drywall this, the reflection, once we get it painted a lighter color, I think that alone is going to illuminate this side so much more, in order for me to be able to at least change tires or work on brakes or other stuff here on this side. But as you can see, there isn't a ton of space. I don't know if I'm gonna put those shelves along this wall or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think very, very long and hard about how to best consolidate things in here. Fortunately, we don't store a lot of junk. I think we just have some, besides Porsche parts, there is like some camping equipment and holiday decorations and that sort of thing. But, this is pretty narrow. It's going to have to stay open. This backside is enough to be able to walk through, or put the car up on jack stands and get under here and do whatever you need to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with this big steel cabinet. I'm not sure. It's kind of ugly. I may just repaint it, but I sort of just shoved it in here because it fits into this space where these cabinets have these are screwed into the studs. So this metal cabinet happened to fit pretty perfectly into this spot. These aren't going to go anywhere because they're decent quality units. I've thrown all my SEMA stickers on there, as juvenile as this decoration looks. But this is a gearhead's garage, so yeah, that's how we're going to keep it. And then in here we've got mostly light duty or really lightweight boxes of parts and stuff. So it's not like we're putting any heavy stuff in here. and I think I've got some pool equipment down there, or pool chemicals or something. In this weird little space, I have my PC just so that I can play music and look up parts and diagrams online. My little Hot Wheels garage here, mostly Porsches, and yeah, that's about it. In here, I've got just a small bench vise that I got. I must have got this in a garage sale. Gosh, maybe 15 years ago or something. But it's working fine. Same thing. Grinder. This wood cutting bandsaw that really needs to go. I would love to find a small metal cutting option, and this secondhand drill press that actually works quite well, but I think it needs the bearings replaced. Has a slight rock back and forth in the, I don't know what you call that, the quill or the shaft. Anyway, these are basically the tools that have gotten me through a lot of work in the past few years, and I've accomplished a lot of stuff in here. I was fortunate enough to be able to do my engine rebuild, transmission reseal, man, so much stuff just here in this one space. But my ultimate goal for this garage / shop space is that I would love to be able to obviously work on mechanical parts, like any of the Porsche assemblies. I would love to be able to do welding, grinding, metal cutting, machining. Basically, I'd like to have some milling machine and lathe capability in here. Not anything super duper heavy duty, because I'm not running a production machine shop in here, but something to be able to do, you know, bushings or small brackets or very tiny fixtures, or just little things that that I may need for either prototype parts for this car, or just you know how it is. Every now and then we come up with ideas for stuff, and it would be nice to be able to make small parts. So that is why I plan on kind of leaving this back wall open for a welder, a milling machine, and a lathe at the very least. Maybe a 3D printer as well would be something in the cards. Maybe one of those teeny weeny micro CNC type of things. I'm not 100% sure at this time, but I mean, there are a ton of amazing shops and workspaces in this YouTube universe. So if you have any suggestions on things that you have seen that seem to be essential small workspace equipment, please leave it in the comments below so I can, shoot me a link to wherever that YouTube video is, or Amazon links, or just links to anywhere you have seen small shops with very high capability and high organization, so that I can have some ideas to brainstorm and be able to do the same thing, bring more capability to this garage, and in turn out more interesting videos for everyone. I by nature I'm a product development engineer, and I grew up around machine shops. I love prototyping environments. I love making one-off stuff. I'm not a very accomplished welder, and I don't have a lot of time running a mill or a lathe, but I have done them in the past, all three, and I am certain that once I, just like anything, right? You just have to bring the machines in and just start doing stuff, and then eventually you'll kind of get you'll get better with time. So yeah, that's about it. If you know, I'm as kind of a summary, I'm finally able to upgrade my capabilities here in the garage, starting with electrical. So if you have any input on machines or equipment that you think that would be beneficial in here for my to continue my 911 build and come up with other products and projects in the future, please leave them in the comments below, and I will gladly appreciate any input that you all may have in order to improve the capability in the garage and you know, keep turning out some good videos for everyone. So in advance, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your input, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.